Hello friends, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk about an exciting topic. How can humans live on the moon and Mars? With advances in space travel, living beyond Earth is becoming a real possibility, but it comes with many challenges. Let's explore how humans might survive and thrive on these celestial neighbors. To live anywhere, humans need some basic essentials: oxygen to breathe, water to drink, food to eat, shelter for protection, and a safe temperature and protection from radiation. In this video, we will discuss all of these needs one by one. Let's start with the basics. Neither the moon nor Mars has breathable air. Mars' atmosphere is mostly carbon dioxide, while the moon has almost no atmosphere. This means we'll need to bring our own air supply from Earth until we can figure out a way to make the thin or non-existent atmospheres of these planets usable. Scientists are working on ways to extract oxygen from local resources. For example, NASA's technology called the Mars Oxygen in Situ Resource Utilization Experiment, or MOXIE, can convert carbon dioxide from the red planet's atmosphere into oxygen. Imagine breathing Martian air one day. On the moon, there's no atmosphere to speak of, so we'll need to carry our air with us. Pressurized suits will be necessary for anyone venturing outside to breathe and stay alive. Fortunately, the moon doesn't have an atmosphere to contend with, which makes it easier to maintain a comfortable air pressure inside a habitat. When it comes to pressure, Mars is tricky. Its atmospheric pressure is about 1% of Earth's pressure, so you would need a pressurized suit similar to what scuba divers use underwater to survive. Mars has more water than the moon, and most of it is frozen. NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter has identified several places on the planet with large amounts of water ice. Some of this ice is located just below the surface, making it accessible with relatively little effort. On the moon, water can be found in small pockets near the surface and in larger deposits below the surface. It's not as readily available as on Mars, though. NASA's Stratospheric Observatory for Infrared Astronomy has discovered water molecules on the moon's surface, suggesting that water might be more widespread than previously thought. With enough water, we can sustain ourselves indefinitely. But first, we need to melt it. We can accomplish this by using solar energy or nuclear energy. After melting the ice, we can boil the water to remove any impurities. And now we have clean water to drink and use for other purposes. Water is essential for human life. We can only survive a few days without it, so having a reliable source of fresh water is a top priority. Astronauts in the International Space Station recycle their urine and wash water, but they still need to bring most of their water from Earth, which requires frequent and costly resupply missions. Ultimately, we all need to find ways to use water more efficiently and sustainably if we want to live on other planets for the long haul. Alright friends, now let's talk about food. How can humans grow and eat food on the moon and Mars? No ready-to-eat meals from Earth, no delivery from Amazon. Growing our own food will be key to surviving on Mars and the moon, but how can we do that when we don't have soil, water, even an atmosphere? The good news is that scientists are already hard at work, developing new ways to grow plants in the most extreme conditions. Hydroponics is one method that can help us grow plants without soil. This involves growing plants in a nutrient-rich water solution. Another approach is aeroponics, which grows plants in the air and mists them with a nutrient solution. Aquaponics combines fish farming and hydroponics to create a sustainable ecosystem where fish waste provides nutrients for the plants, and the plants clean the water for the fish. There are also possibilities for traditional agriculture once we can create a suitable environment. What kind of food should we start with? Simple foods like potatoes and beans are easy to grow and require less maintenance. These can sustain us as we establish more complex crops. As we learn more about the challenges of growing food in space, we'll need to adapt and change our methods accordingly. One thing is for sure, the journey won't be easy, but the rewards will be worth it. Okay, friends, now let's talk about housing and protection. What kind of shelter will astronauts need to survive on the moon and Mars? The moon and Mars both have harsh environments that can be dangerous to humans. The moon's surface is bombarded with cosmic radiation and meteorites, while Mars' surface is full of dust storms and sharp rocks. We'll need to develop new technologies to create safe and comfortable habitats for astronauts in these environments. One possibility is to build habitats underground. This can provide protection from radiation and meteorites on the moon or dust storms and temperature fluctuations on Mars. Subsurface habitats can also help maintain a consistent temperature, which will save energy and resources. Another option is to use inflatable habitats. These could be made from durable materials that are lightweight and easy to transport off the Earth. Once inflated, they could provide a large amount of living space for astronauts. We may also need to develop new building materials that are strong and lightweight. One promising material is a type of concrete that uses lunar or Martian regolith, the loose soil and rock on the surface of the Moon and Mars, as a key ingredient. This could help us build structures that are both durable and sustainable. Whether we build underground, inflatable, or above-ground habitats, we'll need to ensure that they can withstand the extreme environments of the Moon and Mars. We'll also need to make sure that they're comfortable and livable for long periods of time. After all, astronauts will need to feel safe and secure in order to do their work and explore these new worlds. One big challenge is how to keep the inside of the habitats at a safe temperature. Both the Moon and Mars have very different temperature ranges than Earth. On Mars, the average surface temperature is about -63 degrees Celsius or -82 degrees Fahrenheit. The temperature can rise above zero during the day in the lower elevations, but at night it can drop well below -50 degrees Celsius or -58 degrees Fahrenheit. The Moon is even colder with an average surface temperature of about 107 degrees Celsius or 221 degrees Fahrenheit. But wait, it gets even crazier. The temperature can vary wildly depending on where you are and the time of day. In some parts of the Moon, the temperature can reach 127 degrees Celsius or 261 degrees Fahrenheit during the day, while in others it can drop to -173 degrees Celsius or 295 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a range of almost 300 degrees. So how do you design a habitat that can withstand such extreme temperatures? One possibility is to use passive heating and cooling techniques. This could involve using materials that absorb heat during the day and release it at night, or using natural ventilation to keep the habitat cool during the day. Another option is to use active heating and cooling systems. These could involve using solar power to generate heat, or using a geothermal system to take advantage of the heat from the core of the Moon or Mars. Active systems would require more technology and energy, but they could provide a more consistent and comfortable environment for astronauts. All right, friends, now let's talk about challenges. What are some of the biggest challenges facing humans who want to live on the Moon and Mars? Living on the Moon or Mars will present many challenges. We've already discussed some of the major ones, like the lack of atmosphere, water, and the harsh environment. But there are other challenges that we need to consider too. One challenge is maintaining a comfortable air pressure. On both the Moon and Mars, the air pressure is much lower than on Earth. This can cause problems for humans, such as making it difficult to breathe and causing our blood to boil. We'll need to develop ways to maintain a comfortable air pressure inside habitats and spacesuits. Another challenge is dealing with dust. Both the Moon and Mars have a lot of dust, which can cause problems for humans. For example, dust can get in our eyes and make it hard to see. It can also cause respiratory problems and damage equipment. We'll need to develop ways to deal with dust, such as using special filters and cleaning systems. Finally, there's the challenge of staying safe. Both the Moon and Mars can be dangerous places for humans. For example, there are meteorites and radiation on the Moon and dust storms and temperature fluctuations on Mars. We'll need to develop ways to stay safe, such as using special habitats and equipment. Despite the challenges, we can take steps to mitigate them and make living on the Moon or Mars a reality. For example, we can develop new technologies such as better habitats, spacesuits, and life support systems. We can also take steps to protect ourselves, such as by being careful and following safety procedures. By taking these steps, we can make living on the Moon or Mars a safe and comfortable experience for humans. So, friends, this is how humans might live on the Moon and Mars in the near future. Space travel is pushing the boundaries of what is possible, and living on other worlds may soon become a reality. If you found this video interesting, please like and subscribe for more exciting content. Thanks for watching.